Minnesota is celebrating a century of state town ball championships. 80 teams in 2 classes, chasing a late summer's dream. A weekend full of stories and highlights from the idyllic diamonds of Delano, Litchfield, Dassel, and Waconia. We call it Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the Minnesota Baseball Association.
Welcome to beautiful Saints Field in Dassel. This is our third installment of Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the NBA. I'm Ryan Phelps. This grass I'm standing on used to be an all-skin infield, and that outfield wall, well, that was a snow fence. But since the renovation 2 decades ago, this is the 4th time the Dassel has hosted the state tournament. In fact, the Class B championship game will be here on Sunday night. Into the weekend, we were down to the quarterfinals in B-ball and the round of 16 in C. We'll start there. Defending champ Nisswa trying to keep the dream alive against New Ulm. In the first, Jeremiah Pipcorn singles to left. Racing around third to score is Cody Rudisili. Would this be another 10-run offensive performance for the Lightning? Not the case in Litchfield. The Brewers' pitching and defense settled down. Pipcorn is up with the bases loaded. He grounds to third. Colton Schaefer steps on the bag, then fires a BB to Zach Hoffman at first. Fantastic scoop by Zach. Inning over. The Lightning get much welcomed insurance with Rudisili's at-bat in the 7th. A 2-run shot to left. Nisswa escapes a bases-loaded jam in the 9th and shuts out New Ulm 4-0. Dassel was home to some nail-biters on Saturday. Buckman in the field against Hutchinson. Watch the web gem from Lane Gertz. He robs Jaden Fleck and keeps the Hutch offense quiet. The Huskies also flashed leather. Runner on for the Billy Goats, but the smash up the middle is fielded by Lane Glazer to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 2 on for Buckman's Matt Cummett. He finds the hole in the infield. Rounding third and heading to the quarterfinals is Jack Suska and his Buckman Billy Goats. 1-0 the final. A fantastic finish, to say the least. Avon and St. Martin just 17 miles apart. Avon's Caleb Curry hit this first inning offering one of those miles. Avon bolts out to a 2-0 lead. St. Martin erases that deficit completely in the 3rd, and then takes the lead on this 2-out error on the broken bat roller by Ryan Messer. Scott Leeser scores. The Martins try to sneak another one across, but Jack Thiessen is out at the plate. Pick it up in the 8th, 4-3 St. Martin. That is until Kyle Leeser tattoos this offering to the left field corner and out of Saints Field in Dassel. 5-3 Martins. To the 9th, Avon making one last-ditch effort. Reese Gregory pummels the Scott Leeser pitch to the darkness in left center. The Lakers within a run. Leeser buckled down to get the final outs and the win. The breaking ball called strike 3 ends the game. St. Martin makes it to the state quarters. Scott Leeser with 10 strikeouts. Bird Island and Waconia from Dassel. The Bullfrogs are the first to mark the board. Already up in the 3rd, Nick Taylor stripes the single to center. We have a play at the plate? Not so much. Run scores. But they try to get Dylan Gass heading to 3rd. The throw sails away. Gass is going to score. Not so much. He's out at the plate. Pitcher Blake Tritch with the tag. The Frogs extend the lead in the 5th. James Wolfel slaps it past the 2nd sacker. Jordan Sagadol trots home. 3-0 Bird Island. Draftee Josh Kingery had a shutout heading into the 9th. The Lakers spoil the goose egg. In fact, when Max Kahlenberg drives the pitch over the right fielder's head, Waconia's 2nd run scored, and they had the tying run at the plate. Kingery settled down and gets the strikeout to close out the complete game win. Kingery with 10 strikeouts. Bird Island is back in the quarters for the 2nd straight year.
It's a great group of guys. They play very well together. They are very welcoming, especially the first year. And then as I got drafted by them the next 2, it's it helps knowing the guys.
Jake Petricka went from Faribault to Indiana State to professional baseball. Following 6 big league seasons, mostly with the White Sox, Jake came home and pitched the Faribault Lakers to state, and in doing so, provided us with one of the top stories of the 2023 season. Andy Price has more.
Being introduced in front of 850 fans is a far cry from coming out of a bullpen in front of 30,000. Jake Petricka has done both, and he loves the fact he's had the chance to experience it all. Jake is a Faribault High School grad who went on to spend the majority of his last decade on big league rosters. When his time facing million-dollar hitters ended, he came home to play baseball.
It was a blast getting back. I've been telling Chuck for 17 years, when I'm done playing college or pro ball, I'll be back. He was getting antsy. It was awesome to get back and to truly help the team still playing, because I'm 35 myself, I'm not all that young anymore, and I enjoy every game.
This summer, Jake helped his hometown Lakers win a region title and advance to state. The Lakers' hopes were high, and Jake pitched his heart out. He held New Ulm in check except for a run in the fourth inning and a perfectly executed squeeze bunt in the eighth.
It's a squeeze in front of the mound. Flip is not in time.
Most importantly, Jake was met pitch for pitch by a 20-year-old New Ulm grad named Ethan Stoddy, who pitches for Minnesota State Mankato. Ethan fanned 12 Lakers and at times dominated. The baseball poets might wonder out loud if Ethan could follow in Jake's footsteps and beat the odds, going from a small Minnesota city to the grandest stage of the game.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Such a surreal experience. Facing that guy, this team, I know they're a great team, #1 seed in their section.
He pitched one heck of a game, and hopefully this catalysts his career forward in college, and he just keeps building on it. And he needs games like this to remember how good he is. And baseball's such a game of failure. You got to enjoy the success when you get it.
In 8 years of Major League Ball, Jake had one at-bat. In town ball, he grabbed the lumber all the time and took his hacks. And wouldn't you know it, Petricka drove in the tying run in the 7th inning.
The throw is out of the glove.
Hitting's been a little bit of an adventure this year. Every now and then I'll look absolutely foolish, and then it's just realizing that's okay. Get the next pitch, just like pitching. You might throw it to the backstop. The next pitch can still result in an out. Same thing hitting.
Jake was on deck when the Lakers ran out of outs and their season ended. He went through the handshake line knowing he had been part of a successful and memorable summer for his hometown Nine. Seconds afterwards, his passion and his love of the game became abundantly clear.
No, this was an amazing game. They're an amazing team. Just proud of the way our boys battled. I know it's crazy to be emotional about town ball, but man, it's special. What people outside Minnesota don't know is how much love goes into this. And hats off to them. Hats off to all these guys. A great group. Great group.
There's still plenty more to come on amateur baseball today. When we return, we'll meet a high school coach who's living the town ball dream.
For all your scoreboard, video display, and sound system needs, please give Amy Electronics a call and let their 35-plus years of experience help elevate your game day atmosphere to the next level. Amy Electronics is a local Daktronics representative throughout Minnesota and can be reached at 952-941-9830. Amy Electronics is located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, just off of Highway 169, Highway 212, and Interstate 494.
It's time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution. Engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
Amateur Baseball Today is brought to you in part by DuraEdge Engineered Soils. The difference is in the dirt. And by AIM Electronics, the official scoreboard partner of the NBA. In this new structure with Class A teams joining up with Class B teams to make the 32-team field, one team you quickly take notice of is the Minneapolis Cobras. The 2019 Class A champions have eliminated 2 Class B teams to get to the Final 8, including last weekend's win over Dundas. They are brash and they are having fun. If you homer, you get the Cobra walking stick. Here you see Jordan Kazicki with the power symbol following the game-changing 3-run bomb against the Dukes. The Cobras overcame injuries and a subpar regular season to find their swagger at the right time in August. And they love the atmosphere playing in this new format and in ballparks like Delano.
We always try to bring the energy, almost obnoxious energy, but everybody in our dugout was just saying, looking around, it's like, oh, it's almost like we don't even have to. It's just the crowd and the buzz of everybody talking and everybody cheering. It's just a completely different environment. And I think we're flourishing in that. Usually we're the loud ones yelling at each other and maybe sometimes the other team, but here we don't even have to because it's so great. But they do such an unbelievable job here. You know, I didn't ever get to play pro ball, but this is the vibe you get.
This is a blast. I mean, Class A tournament, a blast too. This is so much different. You know, the fans are awesome. The venues are awesome. We love being here. We got hot at the right time, so yeah, we're having a blast.
And the 2019 state tournament MVP, Sean Borman, has been sidelined for the remainder of the season with a blood clot. The team feels some extra motivation to play hard for Sean because they know how much the Cobras mean to him. They were in a tussle with Shakopee on Saturday. The Indians grabbed the lead in the second. Colin Williams grounds to first. Ryan McGee fires home to try and cut down the runner, but Aaron Olson is safe. Shaka would actually build a 3-run lead after 4. In the fifth, the Cobras get it all back with one wave of the wand. Lefty Brandon Schmidt centers it on the barrel, and it leaves Municipal Park a 3-run shot, and we are square, at least for a few minutes. Aaron Olson comes through for Shakopee. Aaron had a nice day, 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI. Back comes the Cobra crew. Nate Lutmer clutches up and singles home the tying run in the 7th. 4-4 is the score. In the 8th, the bases are full of Indians. Jack Schlepper grounds to second, first bobbled, then an errant throw. 2 miscues turn into 2 runs for Shakopee. The Indians advance with a 6-4 win. 2 perennial B powers, Cold Spring and Miesville, tangling in the Elite 8. Springers have a solid first inning. Brian Hansen delivers, singles up the middle, scores the run, 1-0. 2 batters later, Brad Olson pulls the grounder past the lunging first baseman. Runner from third scores easily. So does Hansen from second. Cold Spring up 3-0. Miesville had runners at the corners in the 5th, but pitcher Zach Fernwright fields his spot to get out of the jam. The quick glove and the flip to first keeps the Mudhens off the board. Miesville makes a dent in the 6th. Joey Warner powers it the opposite way. A 2-run clout, the Mudhens within 3. But that would be the final. Cold Spring to the Final 4. Minnetonka and St. Patrick in a game of a Class A and former Class C playing in the B quarters. But the anticipation was quickly doused by the Millers. Joe Schallenberger belts a 3rd-inning base hit. 2 from Tonka score easily, and watch the 40-plus Schallenberger leg out the double. The hit parade continues for the Millers in the 4th. Mason not only turns on the Ryan Freeges pitch, 2-run blast, 4-0. New pitcher in for the Irish, but the result stays the same. Jack Hansen up with the bases loaded. He brings in 2 with the sharp single. Tonka adds 9 more as their pitcher Wyatt Nelson gave up just 1 hit in the 8-inning shutout, 16 rip. Air Freight wasting little time getting to Moorhead. Leadoff guy Matthew Enck doubled. Then Kyle Halverson hits one an inch above the pitcher's glove. Enck scores, and he would add to the Air Freight total in the 4th inning. He pulls a single to right. The 4th run of the game is plated. The 2021 Class A champs looking good. Make that looking really good. Tommy Cumming a scoreboard blast to left center field off the sign for a 2-run homer, 6-0. North St. Paul high schooler Willie Coburn pitched well for Air Freight. Moorhead touched him for 2 runs. Spencer flattened the knock to right to plate 2, but that would be all. Air Freight wins 8-2 and saved ace Graham Laubscher for the Class B semifinals against rival Minnetonka. Find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Find a game you love and, well, here in Minnesota, you can keep playing until they drag you off the field.
Introducing this evening's starting lineup.
Sometimes you wish that you could play forever.
I just could not wait to play town ball. You know, even in high school wanting to play for Lake City and then playing with them for a few years, it was awesome. You know, I got done with college ball and it's like, let's go.
Brian Sprout has been around the game his whole life.
I grew up in Lake City, 1 block away from our baseball field. And I knew the town ball schedule. I knew the Legion schedule. I chased foul balls. I sat outside and chased foul balls at every one of those games. 1, because I could make some money off of it. But I couldn't get away from the baseball field.
He's been the Eastridge High School baseball coach for more than a decade and has 2 titles under his cap.
Minnesota 4A champion, East Ridge Raptors, Brian Sprout.
But his playing days aren't done. You see, he's trying for another championship as a member of the Miesville Mudhens.
You know, you're a part of a lot of winning teams, and I just said, it's because I'm with a lot of talented people. You know, like there's a whole bunch of us trying to do this, and so if we're fortunate enough to, it'd be awesome to cap it off this way.
He's living the dream at the Field of Dreams.
Miesville has a name. It has the field. It has the following. Yeah, that's something where I knew about it going down there initially. I grew up down that way, but being a part of it, you can definitely feel it.
And sometimes it's just nice to escape the suburban life.
It's addicting, and it's just so much fun to go down there and get out of the city a little bit and just play ball and have fun. So we've been there, I think, about 8 years. We've won a couple state championships. We're usually in it till the very end most years, and that's a fun feeling, just competing.
Like so many players in this tournament, in this state, he's still just a guy playing a game.
I think I was 35 years old, and I looked at my wife and I said, I may only have a couple years left to see if I can do this. I want to find somewhere where I can play 10, 15 games a summer. I think that first summer I played 35 games.
Sprout knows the end will come sometime, but the 40-something is not ready to hang him up.
In my mind, when I'm playing the games, I feel like I'm 20 years old, just doing what I've always done. You can't let the game go, and for me, that's just what it is. I just want to be out on the field and continue doing something that's just been a part of me. Till I can't do it. I told someone this the other day walking away from the field, leaving the game. I said, you're going to have to drag me off of here because I just want to keep playing.
We're rounding the bases here on Amateur Baseball Today. When we return, more Class C highlights, and we'll do some fine dining in Dassel.
MaxBat is proud to support the Minnesota Baseball Association as we are the official wood bat. We take great pride in producing high-quality wood bats for professional, amateur, and youth baseball players worldwide. At MaxBat, our main focus is quality, customer service, and quick turnaround time. All MaxBats are created using meticulous hand craftsmanship and engineering in our state-of-the-art facility in the heart of Town Ball Country, Brewton, Minnesota. We want to thank you for your continued support and for making us the leading wood bat brand in Minnesota. Local sports coverage can be found on NSPN.TV all year long. From the first crack at the bat in August to the final putt in June.
And that is good for the individual championship.
We are there. Subscribe to the Neighborhood Sports Network to watch events both live and on demand, including state tournament coverage in every sport. Email jobs at nspn.tv if you'd like to join our team of broadcasters and camera operators. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Ryan Phelps back here with you at Saints Field in Dassel. Amateur Baseball Today is presented by the Minnesota Baseball Association. Jordan Flick, manager of the DC Saints, joining us now, and you're heading into your third week now of hosting this tournament. Are you getting into a groove?
Yeah, we're getting a pretty good routine down. I feel like everybody knows what to do, whether they're working on the field or working in the hot food tent or concessions or whatever it is. I feel like we have a pretty good routine down.
You're in the unique position of not only hosting this, you're a manager of the local team, but you're also a draftee, pitching for Maple Lake. What's that like, playing in the tournament, hosting the tournament, you're wearing many hats?
Yeah, it's definitely making it a little bit busier, but it's a busy time anyway. It's nice to help out a fellow team from our league as they try to make it to a championship game.
You mentioned the hot food earlier. What's the best food here? If I was going to go to the concessions tonight, what do you recommend?
Well, I won't scream it like we typically would in the hot food tent, but the Super Dog.
Get your Super Dog here!
Is the number one food item of choice here in Dassel. So Super Dog, you got to make sure you get the chili, the cheese, the jalapenos, onions, everything on it.
Now you're talking my language. The park, Saints Field, it's looking great.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of volunteers here that put in a lot of hours to make it look and play the way it does. Really, just the tournament altogether, it wouldn't go as smoothly if we didn't have great volunteers, whether it's our grounds crew here on the field or the people working in the hot food tent. John Hohenstein's done a great job of running that, our cold concessions as well, PA, beer sales, everything. It takes a village, and we've got a very good group of volunteers.
Jordan Flick, manager of the DC Saints. Thanks for having us and best of luck with your final weekend.
Thanks.
Delano, one of our other host sites this year, getting the jump on El Rosa in the second. Jake Nelson dissects the field with the RBI base hit. The first athletic run plated, but it would not be the last. Errors and a wild pitch extend the score and the inning, and Trevor Yannick caps it with his RBI knock. Delano leads 4-0, and they don't give up leads. Although El Rosa's Derek Weiner begged to differ, he smokes the Max Otto pitch over the ivy in left, and the Saints had a manageable deficit. Seconds after having a player thrown out at the plate, Delano extends the lead on another Yannick base hit. The Athletics score 6 runs on the night. Max Otto finishes in style, striking out 13, including the final out of the night. The hometown Athletics move on to the quarters at their home park. Tough to find a better game than Bluffton-Laverne. The Braves score in the first. Jake Dykoff at the plate. He grounds between short and third. Infield single to score Peyton Rondesvet. From there, pitching and defense. Dykoff had a no-hitter in the seventh, but Laverne had a runner on third, 2 out. Phil Paquette drives it to the gap. Watch Bluffton's Isaac Hammond lay it on the line. He makes the spectacular grab, saves the run, and the no-hitter. Laverne doing its part in the field. Wyatt Hammond grounds into the hole, but Redbird infielder Skylar Wenninger ranges, gloves, and makes the throw to the covering pitcher. Dykoff takes the no-hitter into the ninth, but it's spoiled by Casey Sayre, a double down the right field line. Runner in scoring position with nobody out. Sayre got to third with 2 outs. Ben Siri at the plate. He taps it back to Jake, who chases down Siri and records the final out. 1-0, Bluffton moves on. And we chase down Dykoff after the game.
I was like, oh crap, I got to bear down now. And I did, and the guys played, like I said, great defense. All I did was throw strikes. They put balls in play. Laverne played a heck of a game. Shout out to Ben. He threw great.
The Jordan Brewers concocted a big second inning against Fergus Falls, starting with Scott Hollingsworth grounding one right through the pitcher's 5-hole. The first run of the game scores. Jordan put 3 on the board in the second. On to the fourth, Jordan threatening, and they make good on that threat. Joe Lucas singles past the shortstop. Devin Ulibarri trots home, 4-zip the score. For good measure, Hollingsworth does more damage in the fifth. A 2-run knock to left field. Scott has 4 RBIs on the night. Jordan in cruise control, winning 9-1, and Hollingsworth talks about the win.
We showed up tonight. We were missing a few guys tonight coaching football, but a couple guys stepped up today, and it was perfect for us. Just kind of let Tommy do his thing and keep quiet, and he's a bulldog out there for us. He wants the ball every night, so it's nice to have him on the team and do what he does.
Maple Lake manufacturing runs against Sartell. Ben Goal steals third. The throw hops past the fielder. Goal scampers to his feet and heads home to give the Lakers the initial advantage. Maple Lake thwarting the Muskies' offense. Ben Clapp plays the hot corner to perfection. The Lakers kept Sartell scoreless into the ninth. The Lakers pushed their lead to 3 in the seventh. Matt Bergstrom comes through with runners on. The Gapper scores the starting pitcher, Hunter Malachek. He was also the winning pitcher. 3-1. Maple Lake moves on. We're heading into the home half of the ninth here on Amateur Baseball Today. When we return, we'll take a look and a listen to our favorite calls of the weekend.
For all your scoreboard, video display, and sound system needs, please give Amy Electronics a call and let their 35-plus years of experience help elevate your game day atmosphere to the next level. Amy Electronics is a local Daktronics representative throughout Minnesota and can be reached at 952-941-9830. Amy Electronics is located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, just off of Highway 169, Highway 212, and Interstate 494.
Amateur Baseball Today is brought to you in part by Max Bats, the official wood bat of the NBA, and by Rawlings. proud to be the official ball of the state tournament. Rawlings, the mark of a pro. Ryan Phelps with you here in Dassel. Remember, you can watch all of these games live and on demand at nspn.tv. Here are some of our favorite calls so far.
Deep to left field. Going back on it is Burnett. There's no doubt about this one. It's a home run.
This time at last, come folks from every corner of town, walking through.
Kyle Leeser gave it a ride and left no doubt where that one was headed.
Hometown heroes take the field again. Could be the snowbird.
Center, no. Willingham diving catch made by Brady Miller out in center field, and that'll retire the side.
And 2 outs. Swung on and missed the 11th strikeout of the afternoon for Josh Kingery.
The boys of summer gonna play today. Sure as the sun will rise again, there's gonna be another baseball game.
Trying to make the throw to first and gets it in time. Wow, great play by Clapp at third.
Time balls all in the family. Father, son,
on the run, makes the catch! What a catch! Oh my goodness! Here's the pitch. Swung on at a tapper. Back to the mound. Dykoff gonna chase him down and tag him out for the complete game shutout in the win.
boys of summer gonna play today. Sure as the sun will rise again, there's gonna be another baseball game on the diamond.
This is hit high and deep out to left field, carrying out of here. 2-run, 2-out blast, doubles the lead.
We will have 2 shows for you this week. Today we got you through Saturday's action. We'll be back on Tuesday after Twins Live to get you the rest of the way. And don't forget to visit the NBA's YouTube channel starting Thursday, when we'll post both shows all crammed into one. That's all from Dassel. Thanks for joining us, folks. For Andy, Brian, and Hannah, and the rest of our crew, I'm Ryan Phelps for Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the Minnesota Baseball Association.
Minnesota is celebrating a century of state town ball championships. 80 teams in 2 classes, chasing a late summer's dream. A weekend full of stories and highlights from the idyllic diamonds of Delano, Litchfield, Dassel, and Waconia. We call it Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the Minnesota Baseball Association.
We're coming to you from Delano Municipal Ballpark, celebrating 100 years of town ball. This is Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the NBA. I'm Ryan Phelps. And we made it to championship weekend. We started off Sunday with the Class B semifinals over in Dassel, and here in Delano with the Class C quarters. Pitchers duel in Delano. The hometown Athletics start Avery Leishman from Litchfield. He pitched well but ran into the Dykoffs from Bluffton. In the 4th inning, Jake singled and was at second. Josh Dykoff at the plate, and he singles to right. Jake has to get on his horse to score from second, play at the plate, and Jake Dykoff beats the throw. Bluffton takes the lead. Delano has a runner on second in their half, but Colby Kaiser, the draftee from Sabika, gets Toby Hansen to go down swinging. The Athletics were solid defensively in keeping this a 1-run game. Wyatt Hammond flies to center. Great jump and great dive by Brady Miller to make the out. But Delano couldn't crack the code that was Kaiser. The draftee fans 10 and had the home crowd fearing the end of the line for the A's. And that end came with Hansen flying out to center. Bluffton shuts out Delano in the quarterfinals. The dream season for the A's ends. Both quarterfinals here at the Delano Muni were low-scoring affairs. Jordan had a runner on third against Maple Lake with 1 out in the 4th. Dylan Peterson grounds to short. Luke Fabi fields and throws. Brandon Arnold out at the plate. Matt Bergstrom with the tag. Maple Lake started draftee pitcher Jordan Flick from Dassel Cokato. Flick's fielder's in the right spot. Logan Orizem snares the hardliner to first off the bat of Afton Cock to keep us scoreless. Jordan's D was also spot on. Ben Goals with a drive to the gap that could score a run. Joe Lucas chases it down. To the 8th, Donnie Mavenkamp up with 2 on. A blast to center that keeps carrying over the head of Lucas. 2-run score. Mavenkamp will go for 3. He's safe, and the throw gets away. Mavenkamp takes the last 90 feet. Maple Lake takes the 3-0 lead. We interviewed Jordan Flick on the last show as he played a big role for Dassel hosting the tournament. Then he would pitch for Maple Lake. He gets the out, fielding his position nicely. Next batter represents the final out. The liner to second is right at Riley Decker. Maple Lake shuts down Jordan. 3-0 your final. Rematch of last year's title game. Nisswa won that one big. The script flipped quickly. Buckman scored a bushel of runs in the first, 1 on a wild pitch, 1 on a walk. This one is a sac fly to center by Aaron Weber. The Goats capped the inning with Matt Cummett's run-scoring single, and with very little fanfare, Buckman puts the defending champs in a big hole. Draftee Drew Byer kept the potent Nisswa offense in check until the 6th. Nate Duchesne uses a ricochet off the bag at first to get the base hit. It scores Cody Rudisilli, 4-1 the score. With the tying run at the plate, Byer gets the crucial strikeout of Sam Peterson. The Lightning threat is over. Buckman patted their advantage in the 7th. Benjamin Toma comes up with Goats on the pasture, and he delivers. 2 Buckman runs score on Toma's big swing, and you can sense the end of the champion's reign. Nisswa responded with 1 big swing for old time's sake. Rudisilli drives the pitch the opposite way and out of the park, but the home run was too little too late. Byer goes the distance, striking out 9. Buckman beat Nisswa in the regions and now at state. Sweet revenge. Bird Island and St. Martin in Litchfield. Bullfrogs launching from the lily pad early. James Wolfel sends it out of the yard and left. A solo shot for the early lead. St. Martin had runners on all day, but Bird Island would make plays. Grounded to first, tough play. Aiden Alfring knocks it down, and they get the out and save a run. 6th inning, still 1-0. The Frogs get some big knocks. First base is loaded for Logan Swan, hits it all of 75 feet, but in a perfect spot to beat it out and score the run. 2-0 Bird Island. Next up, Dylan Gass. Single past the infield, it scores the run. Bird Island scores 2 with some small ball. St. Martin had more chances. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Brian Schlongen grounds to 3rd. Sean Dollarshell fields and tags the runner trying to get back to the bag. Another Martin's opportunity squashed. Loaded bases for St. Martin in the 9th, but a pop-up to 2nd, and this Brady Goebel liner to right ends the threat, ends the game. Bird Island uses 5 pitchers to complete the shutout and advance to the semifinals. As Bird Island continues to advance, the question will be if Atwater draftee Josh Kingery will get more innings on the mound. In his first 2 starts, he went 17 innings with 24 strikeouts, including a complete game win in the quarters. Josh is the son of former major leaguer Mike Kingery. Mike helps coach the Atwater team, and he knows his son would choose to keep throwing.
Josh is the type that if they ask him to pitch, he'll pitch. And I'm the one who tries to hold him back because he'll never take himself out of a game.
What's that like for you to watch your son after 10 years in the majors and now watching your son?
Way more nerve-wracking to be the father than the player. So I am usually pacing when he's pitching or when David's pitching, and so it's way more stressful to not be able to go out there and do it yourself and just be watching.
Here in Delano with a couple of the quarterfinal umpires, I've got Mike Kaufman and Brad Holcomb. We're celebrating 100 years of town ball here, guys, and quite a thrill, well, for all of us to be here.
Most definitely, it's always an honor. I've been doing this for several years, and this is the most fun that I have at the end of the season every year.
On Saturday, you guys were honored by the NBA. Talk a little bit about that.
The NBA honoring us is a great thing because the umpires have always been a part of this tournament. And the fact that they honored Larry Gallagher, our main mentor and a man that just integral to Minnesota baseball, was just awesome that they were willing to do that.
You guys work at this for so many years, and you get an opportunity to work at a great venue like this, but a 100-year anniversary of this state tournament. What does that mean just as an umpire?
Well, 100 years is astounding. Most people don't know that there are over 300 teams in the state of Minnesota, which is the most in the whole country, all the United States. And it's just such an honor to be able to come here and to do that and to get to this Sunday, this final weekend with these teams that are playing their best ball.
You see a lot of great ballparks around this state as well, and to work the quarterfinals here on a beautiful Sunday in Delano, well, you really can't beat it.
No, you can't. I mean, these fields are immaculate. They're the best the state has to offer, and it's just an honor for us to be out here and to be considered able to do this and work with these teams. It's just a great honor.
The play that the teams bring to this tournament, they bring it up a notch. Do you feel that same as an umpire? Do you feel that you guys crank up your game a little bit for these big time games?
Oh yes, well you have to. I mean, we come out try to do our best 100% every game, but with these right here, you just have to focus a little bit more and be a little bit sharper and be on top of your game. We're expected to, just like the players are expected to. They expect us to be on top of our game. We expect them to be on top of their game.
We had 1,200 people here for some of these games in Delano. What type of pressure does that add to the umpire?
Tell you the truth, personally, I don't think it does. I mean, our focus is inside the fence, inside the lines. We're not paying attention to the crowd. The one thing it does do for us is it makes the atmosphere in the park just that much more enjoyable. It makes you excited to want to come out and work.
Mike Hoffman, Brad Holcomb, umpires here celebrating 100 years of town ball. There's still plenty more coming up on amateur baseball today. When we return, we head to the semis as we're down to the final 4 in both classes.
It's time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution. Engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
For all your scoreboard, video display, and sound system needs, please give Amy Electronics a call and let their 35-plus years of experience help elevate your game day atmosphere to the next level. Amy Electronics is a local Daktronics representative throughout Minnesota and can be reached at 952-941-9830. Amy Electronics is located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, just off of Highway 169, Highway 212, and Interstate 494.
Amateur Baseball Today is brought to you in part by Dura-Edge Engineered Soils. The difference is in the dirt. And by AIM Electronics, the official scoreboard partner of the NBA. Over in Dassel on Sunday, we were getting set for the Class B semifinals, featuring 2 A's and 2 B's. The 2020 and 21 Class A champs meeting in the first semi. Air Freight, made up of University of St. Thomas kids, scored 2 early. Kyle Halverson drives in the first on this knock to left. 2 batters later, Evan Kolker chops it right over the first baseman's head. That brings in Halverson. Great start for Air Freight. Graham Lobsher had an even better start. He strikes out Blaine Rutledge, Mike Davis, and Joe Schallenberger to clean the plate in the first. 3 good hitters. In fact, Lobsher struck out the first 10 he faced. Air Freight struck again in the 5th. Chandler Schaefbauer delivers a single that plates Halverson again, 3-0 at the time, but you figured Lobsher wouldn't need any more help. Think again. Joe Schallenberger does what Joe Schallenberger does. A 2-run homer to right, and just like that, it's a 1-run game. Tense moments ahead until Lobsher's battery mate, catcher Charlie Bartholomew, uncorks his own 2-run blast to right. 5-2 the score, and AFU turned it over to Graham, and he slammed the door in record fashion. His 21st strikeout to end the game, 41 in his last 2 starts. That number is mind-boggling. Air Freight wins, and his catcher picks up the story from there.
He's a special player. I mean, I've been catching for him for 5 years, and he seems to only get better and better. It's really not hard work catching him. I can just throw down whatever, and he can spot up pretty much anything. 5-pitch mix. All-time strikeout leader at St. Thomas. It's pretty impressive, and I'm just continually impressed at how much he improves, even though he's 24. This is the best I've seen him look in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team, a lot of good hitters, a lot of good experienced hitters, so it's just kind of always stay in the attack mindset. you know, it doesn't really matter who you're facing up there. You just always kind of have to be, you know, the one driving the at-bat. So I just try my best to do that, keep them off balance.
Second semi, more offensive. Cold Spring builds an early lead on Shakopee. Brady Clare drives in 2 runs in the second with this double to the gap to make it 4-0. Clare got caught trying to take the extra bag, but it felt like the Springers had the mojo. The middle innings saw the mojo flip. Shako ties it in the 6th. The base hit by Colin Williams plates 2. The Indians also run into the final out trying to get greedy, but we're all square. Now 5-5 in the 7th. Indian DH Aaron Olson collects a go-ahead RBI to left. Shakopee seesaws back in front, but only for a half inning until Cold Springs Olson puts the Springers up with the RBI double to left. 7-6 the score. The 8th was a big inning for Shakopee. Dominic Schlepper gives the Indians the upper hand with his second hit of the game. They're up 8-7. Then with the bases full of Indians, the old man of the bunch, Aaron Olson, delivers big time. Olson was part of our bracket reveal show 3 weeks ago, and with one swing, he busts the bracket for his team. A 3-run double seals the deal. 11-8, Shakopee moves on to the championship.
It's been a fun season so far. Every game it seems like we might get down a little bit, but we just never give up. We try and win every inning, and we really just played well today and just enjoying the atmosphere.
Our guys never stop. We just keep going, keep grinding. We're going to play until the last out. So every single player on this team is giving all they got. It's awesome.
So that wraps up the Class B semis. Here in Delano and over in Litchfield, we had the C semifinals as we're down to the final 4. Maple Lake and Bluffton pick it up 1-1. Bluffton loads the bases in the 3rd. The grounder back to the mound, but it gets under Alex Wilson's glove, and the Braves score the unearned run to grab the lead. The Lakers get that run right back. Ben Clapp rips the pitch to left. Ben Goals makes the turn at 3rd and scores, evening things up. Let's hit fast forward and bring Ben Clapp back to the plate in the 6th. 2 on, Clapp turns on the Peyton Rondesvet offering, and the ballpark can't hold it. Clapp with 5 RBIs on the game, 6-2. Bluffton is a battling ball club, and they load the bases in the 8th. Pinch hitter Austin Radensky times it perfectly. He pulls it down the line and gone. One swing ties the game up at 6-6, but the Braves couldn't keep the Lakers off the bases. Again, they are loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Donnie Mavenkamp grounds to short. It's bobbled, and then an errant throw. The damage is done. 2 score for Maple Lake, 8-6 to the 9th. Hunter Malachek closes up shop with a cold 3rd strike. Maple Lake survives and advances on to the finals. Bird Island, Buckman, and another quick start for the Bullfrogs. Scoring 3 in the 1st, Jordan Sagadol's down the line double plates 1. Bird Island would also score on a wild pitch and bases loaded walk. Buckman bouncing back with the bomb. Matt Cummett takes it over the fence in right. The Billy Goats are gruff, and they want it back in the finals. But it gets away from them in the 5th. Sean Dollarshell comes up with the bases juiced. His seeing eye single caroms off the shortstop's glove. 2 runs will race around to score, 5-1. Tip of the cap to Bird Island pitcher Aiden Elfring. He guts out 6 innings, only allowing the homer. Here he shows the importance of covering the bag, his final out. Elfring gets the win. Bird Island bests Buckman onto the championship in Class C.
Credit to them, man. They played well. They swung the bat really well. We turned a couple key double plays that helped a lot, kind of slowed the momentum a little bit. And hats off to our starting pitcher, Aiden Elfring, man. He shoved today, and he shut them down.
It feels great, dude. Like everybody come together, play from a small town. You know, I'm playing with all my best friends that growing up, everything. A lot of us are really young. We all played together growing up. We won a state baseball championship in high school together. I mean, it's just fun to go to another championship with the same team in a different league.
There's still more to come on amateur baseball today. It's championship time. We'll have the celebration and reaction.
MaxBat is proud to support the Minnesota Baseball Association as we are the official wood bat. We take great pride in producing high-quality wood bats for professional, amateur, and youth baseball players worldwide. At MaxBat, our main focus is quality, customer service, and quick turnaround time. All Max Bats are created using meticulous hand craftsmanship and engineering in our state-of-the-art facility in the heart of Town Ball Country, Brewton, Minnesota. We want to thank you for your continued support and for making us the leading wood bat brand in Minnesota. Local sports coverage can be found on NSPN.TV all year long. From the first crack at the bat in August to the final putt in June.
And that is good for the individual championship.
We are there. Subscribe to the Neighborhood Sports Network to watch events both live and on demand, including state tournament coverage in every sport. Email jobs at nspn.tv if you'd like to join our team of broadcasters and camera operators. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Welcome back to Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the Minnesota Baseball Association. I'm Ryan Phelps. We're coming to you here from Delano today, site of the Class C championship game, but first we head down the road to Dassel to the Class B finals. Shakopee opened up scoring on Air Freight's Jack Schnettler. Colin Williams finds the hole. Tom Keehan races around to make it 1-0. Air Freight gathered themselves and went to work offensively. Sam Kalesa up with 2 on in the third. Kalesa sends it to the gap. Runners score. Kalesa ends up at second. Air Freight back ahead. A little later, Kyle Halverson replaces Kalesa at second. He also shoots it to the wall. 3-1 after 3 for the kids from St. Paul. Halverson marks the score sheet again in the fifth. This time it's the old sac fly to center. Kalesa crosses home, and the thought of a second NBA title is dancing in the Freight's heads. Shakopee had a last gasp in the seventh. Justin Winterfeld drives it to right center. Shakopee cuts the deficit to 2 and looking for more. But more would be too hard to come by because Air Freight countered with Graham Lobsher. Hours after pitching a complete game, 21 strikeout effort against Tonka, he strikes out 5 Indians in relief to get a grand total of 60 for the tournament, a record that will be hard to touch. Shakopee went 6 up, 6 down against Lobsher. The ground out to short wasn't a thing of beauty, but it was good enough for a championship. Air Freight wins the first ever AB combo tourney, and for this group of college teammates and friends from St. Thomas, it's their second state title in 3 years.
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, excited to get our second state championship, but fun to play with the guys. And we were talking before, like, it's more fun to be with each other than we even like playing baseball. We kind of just do that to get together, so it was a blast.
A lot of people probably overlooked us because we only played league games, but I know, especially with the format of the tournament, I mean, we can basically just use Graham for the first 2 weeks. And then once you get to the final week, you just got to win.
I mean, we got a lot of clutch guys on our team. So, I mean, when someone needs to step up, we just got a bunch of guys who are willing and able to do so. So it was a great team win, and we're going to be hopefully back here next year doing the same exact thing.
That wraps up the newly structured Class B tournament. Here in Delano in Class C, it's still the same as it always was. We started with 48 teams, and now we're down to 2 for the traditional Labor Day Championship. The 100th final played in near 100-degree heat, but played at a higher level than the heat. Maple Lake starts the scoring. Donnie Mavenkamp gets the scoreboard operator working with this RBI base hit. Ben Clapp touches home to get the Lakers the lead. Bird Island answered right back in the next half inning. James Wolfel had a fantastic tournament. He singles in Braden Tersteeg 1-1 after 3. Next half inning, it's Maple Lake putting a crooked number on the board. Hunter Malachek scores Ben Geltz on a base hit. The Lakers tallied twice in the inning and led 3-1. A rough 6 for the Bullfrogs. They walk 2 runners in, then the Lakers add a 3rd run in the frame on Riley Becker's squeeze bunt. The Bullfrogs put pressure on in the 7th. Wolfel again delivers, this time off draftee Jordan Flick. A double to the Ivy chases in a run, 6-2. They aren't done. Aiden Alfring flips one out to center. Malachek believes he caught it, but it's ruled a trap. Another Bullfrog run scores, and we have ourselves a game. What happens next might be the play of the game. Again, Dollar Shell makes great contact and chases Malachek in center near the warning track. The catch is made, and watch this throw by Hunter. A laser to third to get the double play. Malachek was named the tournament MVP, and he did it all. One last offensive gem to help bring the Lakers another state title. In the 9th, watch Clapp chase down this foul ball with the Willie Mays catch. Props to NSPN's Kit Callis for the great camera work from a very tough angle. The Lakers gave up a run in the 9th, but here is your final out. Maple Lake, the surprise winner of the 2023 Class C title. They came in as the number 3 seed and needed 6 wins to claim the crown. a tournament to remember for the Lakers.
It's a hell of a tournament, a lot of close games. Defense played a hell of a game every game. I mean, everything just went right. Perfect time when we got hot coming in. That's all I can say.
It's amazing, man. It's what you play all year for. It's what you play all year for. It's it's surreal, really, because it's like I said, you play all year for this little moment right here, and to do it with these guys for City of Maple Lake. Nothing better.
One final segment to go on amateur baseball today. Up next, we salute our broadcasters and some of the great plays from this year's tournament.
Time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution. Engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
Amateur Baseball Today is brought to you in part by Max Bats, the official wood bat of the NBA, and by Rawlings, proud to be the official ball of the state tournament. Rawlings, the mark of a pro. Ryan Phelps back with you here in Delano. If you missed any of the great action over the past few weeks, go to nspn.tv and watch any of the games on the archive. Now we'll take a look and a listen back to some of our broadcasters as we celebrate 100 years of amateur baseball.
Town ball is a family affair, and everywhere that we've gone to cover these games, we've been made to feel like family. We've been made to feel a part of their community, and they've been so warm and welcoming to us as we've been there calling these great baseball games.
Sun comes up, a fresh cut grass, the infield's red.
Will get it, second to first. Inning-ending, game-ending, double play.
Hometown heroes take the field again. Could be the Snowbirds.
Way back, this one is gone. Home run off the light tower. And just like that, it's a 6-2 Maple Lake lead.
Towns showing pride in their baseball team almost rivals what you see with high schools. Also, seeing players that I broadcasted in high school continuing to play on and watching them grow up in their lives.
Minnesota boys always give it their best.
On the run, makes the catch! What a catch!
I'm Jeff Papis, and you know, the thing that I love about this event, this tournament, is the people. They're just amazing. You don't come across any bad apples here. It's just fun. The baseball tournament, the amateur baseball tournament, is the highlight of my broadcast year.
Town ball's all in the family. Father, sons, and uncles.
Back, and he will run out of room. It's a 2-run homer for Caleb Curry, and Avon breaks onto the board in the first inning.
And he's got 2 hits in this one. Lefty swings and hits it well. That one has a chance. And gone!
The experiences for me, a broadcaster with the NBA State Tournament, not only come between the lines with the level of play, but this year even more so outside the lines, which includes the high attendance and that crowd that just energizes the call.
The base is loaded right now for Fredenberg. Drives this one. It's got the height. It may have the depth, and this is not coming back. It's going to Victoria. A grand slam by Fredenberg. He goes yard to clear the bases.
Echoes, players of yesteryear, ballpark dogs and an ice cold beer.
Center, no, Willing, a diving catch made by Brady Miller out in center field.
One of my favorite things has been, now that I've been to Litchfield and Delano,
is really seeing, one, great baseball, two, just the incredible community that surrounds state amateur ball here in Minnesota. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to kind of soak it all in here during the state tournament.
Echoes, players of yesteryear.
High and deep out to left, turning and looking. That's because it's gone. A 2-out homer.
A big Chicago Cubs fan, back in 2016, they made the World Series for the first time since 1945. A highlight for me in this past Town Ball State Tournament, I got to call the Cortland Cubs' first state tournament game since 1945. And just like the Chicago Cubbies, Cortland, you'll get him next year.
Well, hey, everything's okay. Boys, some are gonna play.
To the track, to the wall, souvenir ball. The 0-2. Grounder to short. Bobbled, throw, still got him. Air Freight Unlimited is your 2023 Class B state champion. 0-1. Hit high in the air. This could do it. Waiting for it. Goes the right fielder, and Maple Lake is your Class C champion of 2023.
On the diamond.
That'll do it here from Delano. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan Phelps for Amateur Baseball Today, presented by the Minnesota Baseball Association.
The boys of summer gonna play today. And sure as the sun will rise again, there's gonna be another baseball game on the diamond.